Dear students, this is intro. This lecture basically presentation or lecture to introduction of quantum mechanics or birth of quantum mechanics that describe the birth of quantum mechanics. This lecture is for BSc students, fifth semester for the course Quantum Mechanics and Laser Physics. This is first lecture for BSc third student that introduce the why we need the quantum mechanics, a new theory, and this tells us how quantum mechanics uh, come into picture and why we need this new theory to explain the numerous problems. At present day, quantum mechanics is most successful theory that describe many things and its application goes to many branches of physics. So myself, Dr. Manjeet Singh, Assistant Professor of Physics, Government College Sadewa. So let we discuss the introduction to quantum mechanics. The topic which we cover in this lecture, that is brief introduction to relativity, classical mechanics, electromagnetism, thermodynamics, introduction to statistical mechanics, conservation laws, brief introduction to classical wave equation, introduction to property of light as light is a wave, brief introduction to phenomena like interference, diffraction that describe light is a wave. Before 1900, classical physics was broadly divided into three categories. First one is mechanics, second one is electromagnetism, third one is thermodynamics. Before 1900, there was no problem that cannot be explained by classical physics. All the problems that come in the nature was successfully explained by three branches of classical physics. So these three branch of classical physics is known as pillars of classical physics. So before 1900, all the problems, all the physics, all the natural phenomena was explained within these three branches. But in the beginning of 19th century, the classical physics face two main challenging problems. One is the relativity. In classical physics, the concept of mass, concept of length, concept of time was assumed to be absolute. But whenever speed of particle becomes comparable with the speed of light, these all these changes with the motion. Length is not absolute, time is not absolute, and mass is not absolute. So these thing was a challenging thing, and that was not explained by classical physics. To explain these things, a new theory come was introduced in 1905 by Albert Einstein, and that is named as theory of relativity. Second most challenging issues that classical physics fails miserably to explain many things, that is the motion of electron motion of small particle in the atomic and subatomic realm. So in 1900, the birth of quantum mechanics come into picture, and the birth was due to Max Planck's hypothesis that energy is quantized in nature. In 1900, that was black body radiation spectrum, which was experimentally measured, and that spectrum was not explained by classical physics. To explain this black body spectrum, the new concept was given by Max Planck in 1900, that energy is quantized, that energy released or absorbed in the form of packet in a discontinuous way, but not in continuous way, as assumed in the classical physics. After some discovery like Compton effect, pair production, photoelectric effect, the series of challenging problem come into picture, and all these challenging problem was explained by giving the idea of discontinuous nature of energy or energy quantization. In 1925, Schrodinger introduced his famous wave equation and developed wave mechanics of quantum mechanics. In matrix mechanics was introduced by Heisenberg, and after this, Dirac combined this quantum mechanics with theory of relativity and introduced Dirac formulation of quantum mechanics. When Dirac uses continuous basis vector, then wave mechanics emerges as special case of Dirac formulation. When we use discrete basis in Dirac formulation, then Heisenberg mechanics or matrix mechanics come as a special case of Dirac formulation. So Dirac formulation is more general, and both metric mechanics and wave mechanics come as a special case of Dirac formulation. So we will discuss all these in details in later lecture on later stage. So first we discuss first pillar of classical physics, that is classical mechanics. So whenever a body or object is in motion, then dynamics of that object is defined in terms of three laws that is given by Newton. So these three laws are known as Newton's law of motion. First law is law of inertia. So according to this law, a body in a state of rest or constant motion will continue its state unless there is no external force. That means if we apply some external force to the body, only then position or state of motion of object will change. Otherwise, body continue its state of motion. That is known as law of inertia. So larger is the mass of object, larger is the external force need to apply on it to change its state of rest or state of continuous motion. Second lies law of force, that defines the magnitude of force. According to this law, a force is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum. That is, F is directly proportional to dp by dt, where p is momentum or t is time. So when you put momentum in terms of acceleration, then force come to F is equals to ma. Third law, the law of action and reaction. According to this law, when some force is applied on object, then equal and opposite force is exerted by second object on first object. So the magnitude of force exerted by both object on on each other is same, but their direction is opposite to each other. So this is law of action and reaction. So dynamics of any object, motion of any object in classical mechanics was explained by all these three laws. So classical physics basically deals with the motion of macroscopic object. It does not it fails to give accurate result for microscopic object like motion of electron around the nucleus. The classical physics not give a good or accurate explanation for motion of electron around the nucleus. For that, a new theory is needed, and that theory is known as quantum mechanics, which we details of that we will discuss on next lecture. Second pillar of classical physics is electromagnetism. Before Maxwell, electric branch of electricity and branch of magnetic field were totally independent of each other. It was Maxwell who combined these two branches into single form that is known as electromagnetism. This electromagnetism based upon four laws, four equations, and that four equation is known as Maxwell equation. First Maxwell equation is Gauss law in electrostatics. Second Maxwell equation is Gauss law in magnetostatics. Third Maxwell equation is Faraday law of electromagnetic induction. Fourth Maxwell equation is Ampere circuital law, modified Ampere circuital law. These are Maxwell equation in differential form, and these are Maxwell equation in integral form. So they are set of Maxwell equation, integral form as well as differential. The third pillar of classical physics is thermodynamics. Again, branch of thermodynamics, heat and thermodynamics, that basically deals with the change in temperature because of consumption of heat or release of heat from the body. So this change in temperature is described in terms of branch, in terms of thermodynamics, and thermodynamics based upon four law. First is zeroth law, first law of thermodynamics, second law of thermodynamics, third law of thermodynamics. So first law of thermodynamics gives when we supply some heat to the system, then there is a change in the internal energy of system. The temperature of system may increase due to change this energy, and some work may be done by the system or done on the system. Second law, it is not possible to convert heat completely into work. Some other change take place. In another form, we can say that the complete heat cannot be converted into completely into work, or we can another way we can say without help of external machine, heat cannot flow from cold body to hot body. Heat always flow from hot body to cold body. Third law of thermodynamics, it is not possible to achieve an absolute zero temperature. In any condition, till now, till date, the absolute zero temperature cannot be achieved for any substance. So another law that also very important, that is zeroth law of thermodynamics. According to it, when there are three systems, when two systems are equilibrium with each other, and these two systems are also independently equilibrium with third system, then all these three systems are equilibrium with each other. Classical statistical mechanics. The idea of statistical mechanics was given by Boltzmann, and according to classical theory of gases, he obtained the some results, that is root mean square velocity, law of equipartition of energy, heat capacity, and distribution of speeds for a gaseous system. And classical statistical mechanics gives accurate explanation for kinetic theory of gases. In classical physics, there were some famous law: conservation of energy, conservation of momentum, conservation of angular momentum, conservation of charge. All these laws we have many times studied in our in lower studies, in lower classes. Classical wave equation, to describe the motion of wave in classical physics, there is a wave equation, and that wave equation is described through this equation. On left hand side, there is a second order derivative with respect to space coordinate. On right hand side, there is second order derivative with respect to time coordinate, and these two are related through the velocity of wave, that is velocity of wave, the velocity with which a wave propagates in a particular direction. The solution is defined through this expression. Solution of this classical wave equation is described through this equation. Classical wave examples, that you have numerous example for classical wave, and in that case these are some like sound wave, wave on string. These are some parameters or uh, property or parameter or property of medium in which a wave propagates or move, there is a propagation of wave. This is described classical wave equation in electromagnetism. In electromagnetism, classical wave equation is described in terms of electric field and magnetic field, and electric permittivity of free space or magnetic permeability of free space. Interference and diffraction effect of light. According to Hygiene theory, which proves that light is a wave, light shows wave property like interference pattern, diffraction pattern. Interference means superposition of two or more waves to give a resultant wave. There may be two type of superposition that lead to a one lead to a constructive interference and another is destructive interference. So this is a property of wave. Another phenomena that is important, that is property of wave, is diffraction effect. Diffraction effect is nothing but it is a bending of light from the edge of corner. So whenever light propagates in a particular direction, if there is an obstacle in the path of light, then light bends, and this bending of light is known as diffraction. And there is a diffraction pattern, and because of this diffraction pattern, light enter in the geometrical shadow of object. Thanks for your patience, and any query and questions regarding these are invited from student side, and this is basically just an introductory vision to birth of quantum mechanics. More detail about this new theory we will discuss in next lecture.